Good morning from the north. Lights are just coming up. This morning in the aquariums. The new pair is still comb pointing. Maybe today will be their day. Here's warming up to the new tank, so it can take them a couple days, but they're definitely a pair, and you can see how they're behaving. So we'll give them more time. Just let them cozy up over there. I don't need to do a water change today, but I'm thinking about doing it. Maybe they'll spur them on. But everybody's colors are really good. Everybody's doing really well. The males are getting frisky. A little bossing each other around this morning, so we might have an active female. I'll keep my eye on it. Then I'll have a conundrum if it's the older couple that's already produced babies is ready to kick off. I might have to move these guys out because they're young and they don't know what they're doing, and I'll open the space up to a couple that has already proven themselves. But for now, they're the only game in town, for sure, and we're just going to let them keep learning. That's what they're doing right now. They're just kind of figuring things out. See, they're up on the glass in the corner here socializing. I think that's helping them adjust. Here's a quick look at the discus anyhow. Maybe I should give them a feed. Now, I feed my fish an assortment of products, including Northfin. Specifically, the ones I like for the discus, the Northfin. I use all types of Northfin, but on the discus, mainly it's the Crow Flake and the Bug Pro and the Bug Pro sticks. Because those are the foods that Northfin has that will not just sink to the bottom immediately. And as you can see, this food here is a different product I like to use, and it's the Tetracolor XL Tropical Granules. Its container looks like this with a red lid, and that really is their main staple food. I don't consider it their main nutritious food, although it's good. It's not bad for a cheap food, but it's like the staple because I feed these fish every 2 hours throughout the day, and I give them different foods. But this is like the cheap bulk food that I use, and then I use the quality foods more sparingly. And they really like this food, the Tetracolor. So it's kind of like junk food, I guess, for them. But it's not their mainstay. I don't know. Like they get a lot of Northfin too. So, and the mix of the two seems to do really well for me. But I choose these foods not because of who made them. It's because of the properties, like the granules. They float around the tank. They stay intact. They don't like to sink to the bottom. They will, but they typically float around the tank. And the discus like to pluck them out of the air. So, if our good friends at Northfin were looking for some advice on developing a new style of discus pellet, I would mimic that behavior. Find a way to keep it semi-suspended, not floating on top of the water because then it just goes down the overflow. But mid-range, slow sinking, float around, get pushed around by by all the jets, and let the discus chase the food. That's all of those properties is why I like this. It doesn't break down. It stays intact. It's red, so it contrasts with all of my with all my decor and my gravel, so the discus can see it very easily. It stands out. If the pellet is the same color as my gravel, for example, and that's my fault for choosing this color gravel, right? If I picked black gravel, I wouldn't have that issue, for example. But my gravel, most naturally colored pellets will camouflage into it, and so once they hit the ground, there's a very big chance it's not getting eaten. And food laying around's a no-no in the discus tank. So that's really why I like this food. It's and the discus like it too. It'll land on the ground. It'll stay bright red. They'll find it, and it works out really well. Enhances their colors really well, and keeps them chunky. So if you're looking for a cheap staple, I recommend this stuff. But in conjunction with, Northfind's Bug Pro and Crow Flakes, those 3 products. I even also use their discus blend, otherwise known as Super Red. They get that as well. That's a sinking pellet though, and I feed it very sparingly because a lot of it will probably stay on the ground. So you gotta watch that about food fouling your water with these fish. Very important. Let's go take a quick pick at the other fish downstairs. Larry is doing pretty good. He's a pretty solid fish. Very easy to look after. Hasn't been difficult in any way, shape, or form. You can see he's grown some, but his hump's starting to come forward. If you roll back to a month ago on my videos, you'll see, how little he was when he came home. He's not big yet, but he's grown. He's doing good. This is basically just going to be a big old polar parrot tank. These polar parrots down here were doing great with their babies. I don't know if their babies are just hiding right now, but it looks like the mother's brooding. And I think what happens is, once they're ready to lay eggs again, they kill their babies and lay the new eggs. So if I see a new batch of babies show up in the next several days, I'm pulling these 2 parents and just leaving the babies in the tank, and I'll feed them. And then we'll see if that works. I'll put these two parents up here with the rest of them. And I got another pair in here right now doing their thing down here. We should be seeing babies, but they'll probably get eaten by all the other fish, right? But she's in there and she's got a brood and she's working it. So I built them up a defensive area, so they can, and they've, this is sort of a, Dad made a little playground for them out here. For the babies, when they come, they're prepared. And he's fending the area very vigorously. So I'll drop the other pair in there. They'll probably take up residence on this side. There's all kinds of holes in this thing too for them to hide in. So, and we're just going to leave the parrotfish in here. Kind of done playing with them, making babies, eating babies, making babies, eating babies. They're not worth a lot of money really, so I don't know. I'm just gonna see what they pull off on their own in this tank. Maybe put more hiding spots all over the bottom, so there's a chance of survival for some babies, and we'll just see what they do. Probably, it's already a tank full of them, but it'll be probably pretty full of them. When I get an abundance of them, I'll just start selling them off. I also might want to open this tank up to some bigger, better things. They're cute, but I don't know. Keep eating their darn babies. And maybe that's because they're just too young. Probably some babies still in there. They went from having a boatload of them to apparently having none. And then the female's back in there like she's got eggs. Maybe like this one over here. So I think they ate their babies. And that's unfortunate. Mr. Larry. And here's our Oscar friends doing just doing wonderfully as they always do. No aggression in this tank. It's been months of very stable behavior. They all get along. The water stays impeccably clean. And this whole downstairs system is very autopilot. I don't have to do a lot. I do a water change every week, and I clean the filters as well every week, and that's it. I don't even do them on the same day. I'll water change, and then next day I'll do the filters, and I'll just sit back for a week, rinse, repeat. Very simple system to look after. Occasional gravel vac. I don't have to be as anal about it as I am with the discus, because these fish are more resilient. They just don't need that level of care, and it's much more of a traditional fish keeping experience down here in the basement with all these tanks. Keeps my workload down with the centralized system. Makes water changing them all pretty much as time efficient as doing a single large tank, and just takes a little longer to get the fill done. Drains quick, doesn't fill as quick. My drain is faster than my tap because of all my block filters. Are they just something else? I'm loving the whole centralized tank setup thing. It's definitely going to remain a big part of my fish keeping strategy. The water produced is just phenomenal, and this tank has proved it. Look at that. You would think a tank with this many fish and that many Oscars would be a filthy, disgusting mess. People were actually predicting that this tank would look like a filthy, disgusting mess in 6 months when I first set it up in the comments. Well, it's been about 6 months. What do you see? Let me know in the comments. And one last peek at our discus friends after having our morning coffee, as the lights have come up to a brighter, more visible spectrum, as you can see. It's just all front of the glass and beautiful fish over here. God, I love this hobby. one of these two. They're still a bit unsure of themselves, but that's, they've been in this tank for months and months, so they'll get over it soon.